Gambian American Jamaican, which is right. International publicist, host, promoter, and journalist Oli Matatal, and more. Because I tell you, this morning I was talking to another sister friend, Katis, a Yundi of Veggie Meals on Wheels, and we were talking about the many hats, the many, many hats we wear, and adding more hats to it as well. Well, Oli Matatal is one of those who definitely wears many hats and does it so passionately. So we said we'd have her on. We couldn't make African Liberation Month end without having her on. She was involved in so much. So we said we got to have a reason with her before the month ends. Greetings, my sister, friend, queen.
Greetings, Queen. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How are you, my queen?
I am doing so good,
Awesome.
especially now that I've heard your voice. Greetings to the whole Roots FM family and all the listeners.
Right, right. You had a lot going on for you this month. You moved. You're sending your mother's, uh, uh, well, I don't know, those things that are so precious, items back to the Gambia. And you're also having a Connie Tucker event for her, for annual Connie Tucker event for your mom in celebration of African Liberation Month. Talk to us about the journey through African Liberation Month, Oli.
Well, it was definitely a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was a lot on me, and because of the various trying to organize a community event for the fundraiser, and then again, like you said, moving and repatriating my mother's items back to Africa. So emotionally, I had to connect, really strong with, my past. But at the same time, it's been healing. It's been very healing as well, as we have our I guess, turbulent times. We have to always have our sunny days.
Mm-hmm.
So the sunny days are back, and it's just a
Woo!
time of growing, and just centering myself and trying to just redefine myself in this next stage in my life. And yeah, that's just what it's about.
So when you said this next stage of your life, because you have so many positive, productive stages, and you said there's rainy days, there's sunny days. So in this stage now, what will it encompass? This stage of your life, what's going to be happening with you? What are you going to be doing? Where are you going to be going?
Well, I think at this point, I want to take some time to kind of just sit still
Mm-hmm.
and go back to the drawing board and try to kind of like redefine myself because I've been
Mm-hmm.
doing so much. I've had so many great, wonderful peaks. When I spoke at the United Nations in March for International Women's Day, and I was
Awesome.
awarded the President Biden Lifetime Achievement Award for my
Mm-hmm.
activism and my community service internationally and locally. you know um just there've been so many great opportunities and blessings, and the work that I've done, working with you all in Jamaica, and
Mm-hmm.
working with Kabu and Irie, and as a
Mm-hmm.
publicist with Sizzla, and traveling all over the world in the name of humanitarian work and my work in Gambia and Atlanta. So I just feel like I've done so much. I want to just kind of center myself and just kind of refocus
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of rebrand myself,
Right.
and just kind of just figure out what the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years is going to look for me, because I've
Mm-hmm.
done so much already.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that with my mom not here, I have to really wear my crown and figure out what that looks like.
Beautiful, beautiful. You mentioned your mom. You repatriated her personal items, and that was very emotional. We saw some of the videos where you were packing away. She has a lot of things. Talk to us more about what that was like for you, and how do you feel now that it has been repatriated back to the Gambia?
It was hard, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't show it to the end. I just kind of broke. It was at a point where I kind of had reached my peak. It was just so much going on,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of just broke, because I felt like I was doing a lot, not by myself. I have a strong circle of really support around me, but I mean, even with that support, sometimes things really get overwhelming,
Mm-hmm.
and so that it just came all at once. And but like I said, we all have our vulnerabilities. We all have those days when we just really need the community to see that. Look, I know I always seem like I'm strong, and things always seem like it's just everything's perfect. but there are times where it's hard, and I need the support and I need the love, and yeah, that's just really what it was.
Yeah, because we've known you for so many years, and we've seen you. We know your story. We know your history, and we know your journey, and we see you so many times doing, difficult things, and like always surviving, always winning, always coming out on top. But it's also important to show that there are indeed vulnerabilities, there are indeed valleys. Because when you go into these valleys, that's what helps you to ascend also back to the mountaintop. you know. So that was a very emotional time for me as well. When I saw you in this situation, and on those terms. So and now where you're saying that, wow, this is a time when I'm gonna reevaluate. I've done so much. I'm gonna be still, because sometimes we just have to be still. In terms of your mom's the Connie Tucker Foundation, talk to us about the event that you had, and what is it you're trying to do? I know it's an annual event. Tell us what you're trying to do, what you're doing with it, as a matter of fact, moving forward.
Well, it's interesting. I was meditating one day, and I was saying to myself, I knew I wanted to do my fundraiser, but I wanted to do it different. I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to theme it. And then I was just thinking about, just the whole idea of the repatriation, and just the whole movement around us as African people, especially with this being the African Liberation Day weekend,
Right.
um, you know, and just our strength as a people, and how we've overcome so much.
Mm-hmm.
But where it all stems from is the Ma'afa, and that's the greatest tragedy that's happened to any race of people in the world, when we as African people were stolen from our homeland and
Mm-hmm.
disseminated throughout the world. So I wanted to kind of commemorate that in a sense where we kind of just acknowledge the transatlantic slave trade and the impact that it's had on our people today, and the pain that still exists in our communities, and without us really looking at the post slavery trauma, and really, really harnessing it, and just examining it,
Mm-hmm.
and coming up with solutions for a lot of this healing. We're not going to really get to the root of what's going on in our communities. And so the idea came to call it the Africa Ma'afa
Mm-hmm.
Remembrance Festival, and it was a beautiful occasion.
Mm-hmm.
We had it at the African American Research Library in Auburn Avenue here in Atlanta. It was from 12:30 to 5:30, and then we went between the two buildings at the Apex Museum. It was a combination of tours, artists performed. We had artists driving all the way from New York. We had some here in Atlanta. We had speakers. It was just a really phenomenal time to really pull everything together. I didn't get the numerical support that I would have liked, but it was a lot going on in Atlanta that day,
Mm-hmm.
with Carnival, Memorial Day weekend, so many concerts, parties, etc. But what we did was we created a production. The production crew came out from New World and filmed it, and we're hoping to edit it,
Right.
and disseminate it out to the world, so that at least for those people who couldn't physically be there, they'll be able to get an idea of what we talked about, what was shared, the
Mm-hmm.
dynamic artists that performed, and the conversation and the dialogue, so that we continue to have this conversation and dialogue in our own communities, in our own organizations, in our own families, because that's what this is about. It's not about
Mm-hmm.
asking for handouts. It's not about begging. It's about us empowering ourselves. It's about us healing our communities. It's about us liberating ourselves, going to Africa, making those connections, being those bridges, building those bridges, educating our people, creating the environments for our people to heal, educating our youth, making sure that we live in clean
Mm-hmm.
and humane environments, building up our businesses. It's just so many things that we have to do for ourselves. We have to be reliant as a people. We have to be self-determining, and that's just really what I'm just focusing on, and continue to push that we be unified and we empower ourselves and we be collective, and know that the power lies within us, and we've got to create our destiny and create the world that we want to live in. And that's what my focus is.
Yeah, beautiful. And as I said, in the promotional flyer, I said the Gambian, American, Jamaican, Oli Matata internationally, because you do major works in the Gambia, of course, in America, your roots is there, and in the Gambia and in Jamaica. So as we seal up the month of May, which had so much power in terms of the themes it represented, where do you go forward on? I know you're going to be still for a moment, but I know that's not going to be a very long moment. Knowing you, Oli, that will be a moment, a moment, and then you're going to be off doing something else. So have you kind of decided like where you're heading? Is it going to be musically? Because we know there's some festivals are coming up here, even here in Jamaica. Some fest. We know Gambia is experiencing some things as well, and in the States. Where you think you're going to be heading to in the next couple months, and what projects are you going to be dealing with?
Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to the Malcolm X grassroots movement who just had the Malcolm X Festival at the Western Park
Mm-hmm.
a few weeks ago. I spoke at the festival. It was a beautiful gathering. So anytime we as a people come together, wherever we may gather, it's a wonderful experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be working on the Be Reggae Festival in August. That's an annual event that I do with Be Reggae. It's going to be at Piedmont Park, and so we're in the process of organizing with that
Is that
now
in
as we
Georgia?
speak.
Is that in Atlanta as well?
Yeah, yes, here in Atlanta. That's here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm working with a brother out in London. He's promoting his Gambia Festival in October in the Gambia, where a lot of sisters and brothers from London, from the UK specifically, and Sweden and different parts of Europe, they normally come to Gambia. October is Black History Month in Europe. So,
Right. Well,
right.
you
So
incorporate.
I
Don't leave us out of that one, girl. That's my month.
have,
That's my month.
sure,
That's our month.
right.
That's our month.
Right. And then, of course, I'm still working on the fundraiser and just gaining support around the museum and the skill center and the library. Now that all the things have been repatriated, the goal is to get that off the ground. So we're just going to really strategize on what that looks like. But it's just the same stuff. But like I said, I'm really taking the time to kind of redefine myself, be
What do
still,
you mean by
set
what do you
plans,
mean by redefining yourself? Because a lot of people are going through that
rebranding.
process. Rebranding.
Rebrand, kind of like rebranding myself a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
studying more, reading more, kind of um, just, going into myself more and just kind of
Mm-hmm.
growing a little bit more. Just take some time because it's been very overwhelming, Isis.
I know.
It's been very, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And by rebranding and by being still, by going into that whole process, we know that that works miracles. That does
Yes, it does.
wonders. Based on the fact that we have to do that every now and again to regroup.
Right. Yeah, and as a publicist, I'm always working with other people,
Mm-hmm.
helping them develop, helping them rebrand, helping them. But there's some time myself as a publicist, I have to step back as well. You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
And
Mm-hmm.
kind of improve my skills. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Times have changed, new technology. You got to learn.
Mm-hmm. You gotta
I'm a
grow.
lifelong student. You got to always grow. So just taking time to step back to grow and learn a few new things
Mm-hmm.
and just, rebrand myself. And I know, you know, we're growing. I'm not saying I'm about to change my look. I'm not, I'm not about to do
Yeah.
no
You see
surgery
Gambia
or
come.
anything
You
like
see Oli come out blonde. I don't know what's going down, man.
that. What God is the only with the blue eyes? No, I don't mean anything like major like
No,
that.
no,
But I want
no. Mm-hmm.
I want to upgrade.
Yeah.
Just yes, be just I'm almost 50.
Look here, not talk. Hello, you must whisper that. Look at you, boy. You're almost 50. Look at you. This new brand of woman of nowadays. I talk with them almost 50, them almost 60 and so forth. I mean, it's just amazing. Look at Tina Turner. I
I'm
mean,
telling
she's
you.
a man. That's a great example to follow. Jeez, I mean, what we're eating, how we're thinking, what we're doing. It's just amazing. We're just looking fabulous, if I might say so myself. When
Yeah.
it just struck me a while ago. That you're almost 50. I'm like, what? Only man,
Yeah, I'm almost 50. I'm a
looking
few from 50.
a few what?
A few from
A
50.
few, well,
Few.
girl, you're looking so good, and we need to keep
A
that
few.
vibration up. Oh boy! So we can't leave unless we mention the reggae music industry for a moment. We see
Yeah.
where, of course, Kabaka Pyramid did us proud. We haven't spoken since that time, I don't think. and has now become the Grammy King, reggae Grammy King. What are your thoughts on that whole process, the album, and so forth, and what's happening with our reggae music right now?
Well, I love Kabaka Pyramid. I watched his journey. He worked specifically with a group that I worked with for over 20 years, Dead Prez, and
Mm-hmm.
Mwan and Stick, and my cousin Umi. So I know him from even before he really became famous
Mm-hmm.
in the reggae itself when he
Mm-hmm.
was doing his thing. And then of course, being around Sizzla and just that whole crew, Chronics, and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always admired his artistry, and he's
Yes.
a great writer. He's a great lyricist.
Mm-hmm.
His content is powerful. His production. He has a good team.
Yeah.
Around him, so he has all the things that make him
Junior
win.
Gong, the
You know what I
Marleys.
mean?
Yeah,
Not just,
man.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's connected to the Marlins, and I don't mean win as in the Grammys. I mean win in life.
Right.
When you have everything around you,
Mm-hmm.
your team is correct. Your music, your
Mm-hmm.
production. You don't have no choice but to win.
That's
So
right.
he's doing the right
That's right.
things. He's doing the right things, and I implore to other artists to get their teams together to create a plan.
Mm-hmm.
To not just put out music for the sake of putting out music. I mean, you want to put out microwave music, or you want to put out music that's going to last a lifetime.
That's right.
And a lot of artists, they just put out music. They don't know, they don't look at the artwork. They put anything on the cover. The lyrics are crap. The production is crap. It comes out for a second and it lasts a second.
Mm-hmm.
So people have to realize what they're doing if they want to have quality music and have quality career.
Well
So
said.
yeah, so I support Kabaka and I support everything that's going on in the reggae
Mm-hmm.
music. But again,
Mm-hmm.
the reggae music needs to do what I'm doing. Many of the artists, they need to stay still. They need to study. They
Oh
need to go
yeah.
back to the original nature of
That's
what reggae
right.
music is.
That's
The
right, dear.
sound, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And go back to really the powerful lyrics, not this, shallow lyrics that's
Mm-hmm.
hurting our communities and not empowering our people. Then you wonder why our communities are violent, why our women act and dress the way they act, why we dehumanize ourselves. Well, you keep pushing and promoting the agenda of self annihilation in a
Oh
sense.
yeah.
You can't
Oh yeah.
you can't talk about you empowering our communities, but your music is trash.
Mm-hmm.
So I just implore to our artists and just all of our creators, stay still a little bit,
Yeah,
go
man.
inside,
It's true.
listen to the light, read,
Mm-hmm.
learn
Well
some new
said.
skills, understand the business, learn
Mm-hmm.
about the business of
Mm-hmm.
reggae, learn about the
Mm-hmm.
business of the reggae music, respect your team, the people that put in the work, that work with you, respect your team around you. You
Mm-hmm.
understand, and take care of your team. When your
Mm-hmm.
team helps you make money with pay them
Mm-hmm.
properly. Don't exploit your team. So these are the things that the jewels that I wish to share, and
Jewels for
love each
sure.
other.
Yeah,
Love
man.
each other. Don't be crabs in a barrel. Lift each other up. Support each other. Be positive with one another. So these are the
Jewels.
things that I
Yeah, man. Those
implore,
are
and I
jewels for sure, Oli. And we can always depend on you to sprinkle those jewels, around us. And it's such great advice, at this time to just be still and to regroup and to read and to study and to, you know, take yourself to another level, And I think those are very important jewels that we will definitely utilize as we move forward, even though they
absolutely.
say that May is African Liberation Month, it's Mother Month, it's there's so many themes, Child Month, but how we look at it, it's a theme like a launch that's going to take us because our lifestyle is African liberation. That's our
That's
lifestyle.
right.
Our lifestyle is looking out for our children, looking out for our elders, age protected, six nourished infants cared for, the hungry be fed. Creed, So
That's
even
right.
though we have these themes, they're just launches until right through until the next year when we come back again to the month of May. So I know, after you have done your meditation and your affirmations and you're staying still, you will be propelled to move forward along these same lines. I just want to say thank you so much. Can you give your social media handles for us too as well? People can contact you for whether it's
Yeah.
music, hosting. There's so many things that you do.
Right. I did forget to mention I will be speaking at an event at Alabama State University on a climate change
Mm.
panel environmental justice. So I've been doing quite a bit of stuff with the youth here as well. I'll be also participating in as a counselor and a speaker at two youth leadership conferences over the summer, the Black Youth
Beautiful.
Leadership Development Institute, the 21st Century Youth Leadership Movement. So we still are going to be busy, but like I said, we're
Yeah.
just taking the time
For a
to own
minute.
own my craft a little bit more. But my social media handle is at Olimata Tal. That's Olimatta. Last name Taal. Again, that's at Olimata. Olimatta. Last name Taal. And you can also go to my website for www.connietuckerlegacy.org. That's
Mhm.
www.ConnieTuckerLegacy
Mhm.
.org. And I just want to say I love you, Isis.
Love you
Condolences on the
too.
loss of your mother.
Thank you so
I know it's
much.
been hard for you
Yes, it
because
has.
your mother, she was what, like 90 years old?
91. She would have turned 92
91.
this month. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I know
She.
you were her primary caregiver, so I
That's
know
right.
this has been a very
Mhm.
hard journey for you. But just go into yourself and connect with her spiritually, because again, it's just a transformation.
Yes.
You
Thank
know,
you. Yeah. She's now
just a
my ancestor.
transformation. She just
Yeah.
transcended.
Mhm.
It's
Absolutely.
just a different form of energy,
Mhm.
and you can always connect with that energy whenever you want to.
Wow, that's so powerful. Thank you so much for that. And how's your dad doing? The agronomist. We still haven't
Oh,
spoken.
yes, my papa, he's doing good. You know, my daddy's girl.
Me
I
too.
see him often.
He's in the Gambia, right? Where is he in the Gambia?
Yeah, he's in the
Yeah.
Gambia.
Yeah,
He's
he's
in the
Gambian.
Gambia, and
Mhm.
he's excited, and he's doing well. And I'm
Mhm.
just, my dad always, he gives me the little lights, and
Mhm.
he doesn't watch social media, so he doesn't even know about none of this stuff. So I just,
Daddy's girl. Daddy's girl. And
I'm sure my cousins probably get to him, but he's
yeah,
doing well, and y'all keep him
awesome.
in your prayers.
Awesome, awesome. I'm looking forward to head to the Gambia again soon. We always still remember. This would have been the anniversary month of when we went to the Gambia, and Sharon and I were always talking about our trip to the Gambia. Propelled by yourself and the government of the Gambia. It was really outstanding. Awesome, 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 awesome. Looking forward to travel there again. As soon as
Yes,
possible.
we will. We
Love
will
the
definitely
Gambia.
be going back to Gambia.
Huh?
I said we will definitely be going back to
We
Gambia.
will
Definitely,
definitely be going back to the
100%.
Gambia. I know that for sure. Yeah, I know that for sure. And I hear you speaking about climate change and so on. We're going to have you back as we also, um, deal with our Save Soil Jamaica campaign. You and your dad, who's an agronomist, and yourself with climate change. We'll speaking to you again sometime in the coming months about that, because that's a very critical situation that we're working with right now, leading into the ITIL Fest, Food Fest coming up in July as well. So we'll
Yeah, it'll be
talk more
my
about.
pleasure. So thank you for having me,
You're
Isis. I
welcome.
love you so much.
Love you
Thank you to the
too.
Roots FM family. Let me pick up my family in JA. Big up to Mr. Harris, Mama Lou, Sizzler Kalungi, just everybody, the Augusttown family, Sizzler Youth Foundation, Cassava Peace Princess,
Uh, uh,
Fred Live,
uh.
the Moses, Papa. Of course, big ups to Kabu and
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah, big ups to everybody. I hate to name names, but y'all know who
Yeah,
you
yeah,
are. I
yeah,
love
yeah,
y'all
yeah.
so much. And I miss you, Jamaica.
We miss you too. Hurry up and come home, because you have three. You're so blessed. You have three different homes: Gambia, Jamaica, USA. You.
We're transcontinental, transcontinental.
Transcontinental. That's right, my darling. All right. Take care, love. We'll talk later. Have a blessed day, and thanks again, Oli
Yes,
Matatal.
thank you. I
Bless
love you.
you. Love
Peace.
you. Love you. Love you. Oli Matatal. As we say, Gambia, America, Jamaica, international publicist. Wow. Journalist, host, promoter. Boy, the list goes on. Thank you so much. All right, so it's a minute before the hour of 11 o'clock. And of course, want to thank all of you who are on Facebook, those of you who are on Twitter, everywhere else that you're listening and watching on the 96.1. Thank you so much. As we go into MEC, we talk with Arlene Bailey coming up shortly. Arlene Bailey's coming up with another outstanding program. I know. Yeah, MEC, we talk. All right, going to take a pause for the calls and come right back. Soon come.
Denise, Isis Miller.